Hey all, thanks for watching. The next thing we need to discuss when it comes to the capstone is the presentation. So after you've met with the client, discussed their goals, researched their industry, drawn some key conclusions using frameworks learned in the 798 strategy course, come up with 2 to 4 solid recommendations for improvement you're going to need to deliver. Sure, all that work is laid out and cited in the report, but they're not going to read that until a few weeks later when it's polished up and delivered to them. So this is really their first foray into all the work that you've done behind the scenes. And this is where the conviction comes through. So it's really where your job is to be a consultant and to give them to it straight, so to speak. Again, they won't see the report until a few weeks later. So you're kind of building a narrative with the presentation. And there is a formal element to this. So I suggest planning out with your team about 4 weeks in advance. It gives you enough time to nail down transitions, make any changes necessary, do several run-throughs. You're going to get a couple of chances to do it with your instructor, at least 1, but 2 if necessary. So she'll give tips and some guidance there for how to kind of frame the presentation and all your findings. Some things to consider based from my experience. About a minute per slide is good, so you don't want too much information that it's distracting away from what you're saying, but you don't want to speak too long on a slide where the client starts to get lost or somebody starts to fall asleep while you're giving your presentation. Before diving into your conclusions and recommendations, the client and the instructor are going to want to see all the work you put in, so kind of what you found, how you got there. This is going to be really important. And then after you've wowed them with the effort and the 500 hours that you and your team have put in, it's time to tell them where they're hurting in plain language. Maybe it's that expenses are too high and their financial situation is bad, or they need a digital marketing overhaul. Could be that they need to shift their strategy if they're stuck in the middle between low cost and differentiation, for example. Could be that they need to enter new and growing markets, etc. They know something's wrong, that's why they came to the program, and this is where it's your time to tell them. After you've done that, you're going to kind of change the tone, provide the roadmap to success. So it's helpful, and this follows the narrative that I mentioned before. The client wants to be able to connect the dots from start to finish. And afterwards, they will have questions. This is where your team's probably going to draw from the report a little bit more data, statistics, and you'll be able to speak this well because that's where all the work went into. So confidently answer their questions, give them the bad and the good with conviction, and you're going to do great. Again, the instructor will have more insights, more guidance as you're going through it, but these are just some things that you should know before going into it. So if you're in the program, looking forward to the capstone, if you're thinking about the program, I hope this helped, and as always, I'm happy to answer any questions you have about it. Please comment below, and I hope this helped. Thank you.